Daredevil is here, and I've carefully watched through his ability video for hours to try and break down exactly how his abilities work. Here's a full breakdown of what I figured out so far with all of the ability details. I've tried my best to cover everything here, but if you do notice I've got any details wrong or missed anything, please be sure to comment so everybody can know. I'll explain every single ability in careful detail, but just to break it down, Daredevil is a duelist with melee as his main attack form. He does have a ranged attack, but besides that one ranged attack, it's all melee, and you're not going to be able to use that ranged attack as often as you'd like. He has a lot of opportunities to close the gap between his opponents though, and he has bonus health that comes in as he does damage or eliminates enemies, so he's a very quick, fast moving melee character that's going to be really good at taking down squishies and eliminating targets quickly and racking up multi-kills. Daredevil's passive, Radar Vision, lets him see enemies through walls. He also has another passive that lets him run on walls. Daredevil's first active ability singles out a target with Sonic Pursuit.
I see you.
There's a limited timer when it's activated on somebody, and having it activated allows Daredevil to dash towards the target when in range. From the footage, we can't see what other effect he may get from this ability, but what's interesting is that it doesn't seem to have any cooldown for the initial targeting, but the actual dash itself on a targeted player is 15 seconds. Later on, we see Daredevil targeting an enemy again with this, even though he doesn't use it to dash towards them, so I believe it will give him some extra benefit for attacking that player. And later on, we see how this ability has its cooldown refreshed when Daredevil gets a KO on a player targeted with it. So you can refresh the cooldown and chain together a bunch of dashes between enemies to chain up KOs. The next ability is Daredevil's Grapple that can be used to grapple forward to cross open space very quickly. You can also use it on an enemy and you'll grapple towards the enemy whilst also pulling them in slightly. Once the grapple is activated, you will get a 5-second timer. During this timer, Daredevil's primary melee attack will be upgraded to Righteous Cross, where he'll have a chance to do a higher damage hit on a target before going back to his normal melee attack patterns. It seems you can follow through every grapple with this Righteous Cross attack within 5 seconds of using the grapple ability, but once you use it, the timer will disappear and Daredevil will go back to attacking normally. His normal attack pattern seems to be a combination of billy club hits. We didn't really get to see too much of that in the gameplay here, but I'm sure it's the typical melee basic attack pattern. I'm sure there'll be some fun combo opportunities here that tie into the other moves. Daredevil also has an additional spinning attack, where he will spin his billy clubs for 2 seconds. During this time, any incoming damage will be deflected back to the attacker. He will take no damage, and not only that, it seems almost all damage is sent straight back to the attacker, and it gets even better. This ability can even send back entire projectiles, and the effect of that projectile will be sent back to the attacker too. We can see how it is used to send Squirrel Girl's Squirrel Blockade ability back to her, and it locks her in place. So Daredevil will be able to use all sorts of abilities against his enemies, and there'll be lots of fun figuring out which abilities can be deflected. And with a 2-second cooldown, it seems like this ability will have quite an easy timing window to get to work. Daredevil will also have another passive that's tied into his third ability. Whenever Daredevil uses abilities, this bar will fill up. It has 3 spots to fill up, but he only needs 2 to activate this extra ability. Activating this ability with these flames will activate Wrath of the Beast, and during that time, he can then use Devil's Chain or Devil's Throw. It's up to him to choose which one he wants. Devil's Throw will be a Moon Knight-like ranged attack. You can bounce it off any surface, and it will automatically bounce toward an enemy and hit them. Devil's Chain will be a chained attack where he'll hit his clubs into the ground and it will send a shockwave out in front of Daredevil, dealing damage to anybody in its path. Activating Devil's Throw and Devil's Chain will also give Daredevil bonus health. It seems to be related to how much damage he dishes out or how many targets he hits, or maybe even how many targets he eliminates. If anybody can figure out how the bonus health mechanic works with Daredevil, let me know, because I still couldn't quite figure out that detail after watching it through a lot. The Devil's Throw and Devil's Chain abilities don't have any cooldowns. It works very similar to Thor Force abilities. So you use Daredevil's abilities, it fills up the bar, and then you can use the Devil's Throw or Devil's Chain whenever the bar has 2 filled up spots. Daredevil's ultimate features a large AoE blast. Anybody caught in its radius will take damage, and if you look at Daredevil during this time, the bar will fill up above the enemy's heads. If it fills up completely, the enemy will lose vision and can only see up to a few meters around them. The whole ultimate lasts 8 seconds, and during this time, Daredevil is seen to be using other abilities very quickly, so it seems his passive meter fills up quicker, or maybe his abilities have no cooldown during the ultimate stage. It's a devastating attack that seems to do a lot of AoE damage to everybody in the radius. He has quite a sophisticated ability set, and I think people who like melee duelists are going to be very happy about Daredevil. Question is, where is he going to fit into the meta? Is he going to be a big shower, or is he just not going to show up at all? Well, seeing this footage is kind of too hard to kind of predict what will happen. It's very easy for everyone to say that he's OP straight out the gate, and then later on it turns out he's not. Or the reverse could happen. In many cases, people will say, he doesn't look that great, and then later on it turns out he's really strong. It's happened so many times that people try and predict the power of a character before they're even released, and most people get it wrong. So I don't know where, I'm a little bit sensitive about trying to predict, but through watching this trailer alone, I think that his kit is far more versatile than most other melee duelists, and I think he has a better chance of fitting in the meta than a lot of other melee duelists have in the past. I also like the way that his grapple and dash abilities are going to give him an opportunity to attack flyers, which is something that most other melee duelists really struggle with, and we know flyers are super prevalent still at this point in Marvel Rivals. It should be noted that the ability that he can use to do ranged attacks, the Devil's Throw, is another really good option for taking down flyers. So I like that he's a melee duelist at heart, but he still has opportunities to take down flyers as well. It's all just going to come down to how quickly he can do his combos to take down opponents. And I think that there's going to be a lot of cool counterplay for him and awesome sort of combos available, because he can dash towards a target with one ability. He's got a grapple that counts as a dash. He can wall run. And if he eliminates a target, he gets another dash available to use again. And the deflection ability is probably something that's really going to be fun to play around with. Can he deflect an Iron Man ult? For example, Mr. Fantastic can deflect an Iron Man ult, but it won't be the full amount of damage. Daredevil is the first character that can deflect abilities and their full effect straight back at the attacker, and I think that is going to be really, really fun. Maybe not meta, but Daredevil is definitely looking like a really fun character no matter what. What do you think? Let me know, and I'll see you all in the comments.